welcome to Left Night with Kendra Zach. And now, here's your host, Kendra Zach.
Hi, everyone. Hello. How are you doing today, Zach?
Oh, I'm just fantastic. I'm excited to be. We took a little, congressional recess.
Yes.
And now we're back, and I couldn't be more excited.
Yeah, I'm also excited. We took a little congressional recess. We still got paid to sit on our asses. And now we're back. Now we're back to do the same things as before. And
we're sitting on our asses.
Yeah, now we're sitting on our asses, but in front of the camera to you, our viewers. So I'm very excited. Yeah, my internet works in my apartment, and that was something that wasn't true last week. So that's nice.
Hey, things are getting better every day.
But they really are.
But Kendra, I'm sure there is something that is still on your mind this week.
Oh, there are lots of things on my mind. And I'll tell you what's on my mind this week, Zach. So maybe you've heard about this from your evangelical aunt or some white woman on your Facebook timeline comparing things to The Handmaid's Tale. But recently, the Supreme Court decided not to act on the Texas law, which very practically bans abortion for all of its residents. It's very hard to make jokes about this topic because it isn't fun. It's scary. Residents of the state of Texas have already been a victim of, among other things, intense gerrymandering, eroding voters' rights, an environmentally destructive industry, and Ted Cruz's face. And now they're dealing with a state that is explicitly against any sort of reproductive rights or family planning. And you've probably heard a lot of mediocre takes on your timeline that have already been made before and will probably be made again. A lot of discourse, even from pro-abortion advocates, can sometimes feel toothless because the right has hijacked the framework of discussion. So now, instead of talking about, how family planning is important, we're discussing whether 2 cells counts as a viable life. But regardless of all of this, studies actually show that the vast majority of people in this country actually support the right to get an abortion. And even so, it's actually pretty interesting. All of this anti-abortion rhetoric from the evangelical right has not existed since the beginning of time. This obsession is actually pretty recent. Back in the 1800s, many American Christians had the idea that abortion was hip and cool, and they were right. Of course, sometimes the abortion was chewing on some mugwort leaves, spinning around 20 times and then doing some power squats, but it was socially and medically acceptable. Abortion was considered fine until the fetus's quickening, which is basically a term for it kicking the shit out of your internal organs. But until that moment, no church or person really considered it a loss of human life. That is until some medical professionals fought for the criminalization of abortion in the 1800s. But when they did this, it wasn't really done for religious reasons at all, right? It was done out of medical concern because abortion was a field of midwives, nurses, and other fields traditionally populated by women. So the big, strong, intelligent men with their fancy degrees had to come in and say the right way to perform an abortion is to do a line of coke instead. A favorite 19th century remedy for many ailments. So the first push against abortion was really about women having jobs. And in 1873, abortion drugs were banned and most states restricted abortion in the United States. People still got them though. If you were white and rich, it was easier, and if you were poor, it was way more risky. And this remained true until about the 20th century with Roe v. Wade. So around that time, around 1973, Roe v. Wade legalized abortion after 100 years. And most people, actually, that we see as inherently anti-abortion today, were totally chill with the legalization. In fact, the Southern Baptist Convention actually passed resolutions in 1971, 1974, and 1976 after Roe v. Wade, affirming the idea that women should have access to abortion for a variety of reasons, and that the government should play a limited role in that manner. Abortion was largely seen by evangelicals as a Catholic issue, again showing that Catholics are the least fun sect of Christianity. So Rund Abdel Fattah on NPR News, which is the first time we'll cite NPR News, actually traces the white evangelical stance on abortion to desegregation. Some white people didn't want their kids breathing the same air as Black kids in the 1970s, but that group of people wasn't exclusively white conservative Christians. It could also be a liberal lady in Massachusetts who feels the same. However, that liberal lady would not vote for Republicans. So, people like Jerry Falwell searched for another linchpin and teamed up with anti-abortion activists to create the fascist and anti-feminist moral majority evangelical bloc. So, that is a brief summary of views on abortion in recent history in the United States. It's not linear, it's changed before, and it could definitely change again. We support anyone's right to choose. Yeet your fetus, and we'll be back after this commercial break.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying today's show. Real quick, we have a special public service announcement that is our sponsor this week from the Health and Home Awareness Group. So what's going on right now is that unemployment is very high, and the eviction moratorium's expiring. The benefits for unemployment are ending, and the Biden administration, they don't want to do very much about it, which is why instead of doing something, they've sponsored popular shows like ours to have an awareness program regarding health and home and employment. So they think that maybe there's some people who don't know what jobs are. It is where you do labor in exchange for compensation. And most people have to do them because they don't have a choice. You kind of just, you don't live in a world that allows you to get away with not having them under a lot of circumstances. Homes are the things that you live in so that the rain doesn't fall on you. You can keep your stuff there. Sometimes you have roommates or family, and it's nice. It's nice to have a home. So they don't know. Maybe people are getting evicted because they don't understand what a home is. This is about awareness. So we're getting awareness. Health is when you're not sick, so then you don't die. Because if you die in the game, you die in real life, and the game is America. So yeah, what do you expect them to do about it? Have a comprehensive solution, do something to material improve your life? No, this is all about market solutions, and when the market solutions fail, it's probably just a problem of notoriety and people not having awareness. So this is an awareness campaign. Being employed and not wallowing away, unsure of where your next meal is going to come from. That's good for you. Not being homeless is good for you, and being healthy is good for you. Because why else would people have issues with any of those other than maybe they didn't know about them? So now we did our part. Thank you, Mr. Biden.
Wow. I'm so glad I know what a house is.
Yeah. It's been, what else could be the problem other than people just don't know what a house is?
Yeah, that's why people are getting evicted. They just don't know what a house is. That's
it's all about awareness.
Mm-hmm. You're so right.
Yes.
You're so brave.
Don't thank me. Thank the bravery of the Biden administration.
Of course. Yes. Well, yeah, things have been happening. What's been happening this week, Zach?
Everything happens so much, as the classic Horsey Books tweet says.
You're so right.
So, as usual, COVID is sort of the center of all or most of the things happening right now. We had unemployment benefits are ending, which, I got excited. I thought that meant the pandemic was over, but then I looked at the numbers and there's still people. So what the fuck?
Yeah. It's weird. Unemployment benefits are ending when there's still lots of reasons for people not to be employed that have nothing to do with their skill level. Like, it's like, there's a pandemonium outside. It's they probably shouldn't be ending. What's the government going to use that money for anyway? What are they going to do with that money anyway? What, you're gonna do another failed coup? Like, shut up, give me that money.
More cop weapons, I would say, probably.
Yeah, it's like, that's not going to help people.
Yeah,
cops having weapons isn't going to help people. Yeah, it's very embarrassing. It's not good. They're hoping it will push people into the workforce, but a recent article from, was it the Wall Street Journal?
I think it was.
Okay, an article that I literally copy pasted to Zach from my friend's wall because it was behind a paywall. Also shows that, like, people have been so dependent on AI for hiring that, like, we're not even good at hiring people. So it's like, there's like a lot of people unemployed, but then we're fucking up the hiring process. It's just very stupid.
It makes sense. That it makes me think of, like, that. Have you seen? I've like seen ads and I've like heard them on podcasts and stuff now, that there's like, it's like, for $70 a month, pay for an HR person for your office or something like that. They've gig economied HR.
Who am I going to report, like, my boss sexually harassing me now? Who am I going to say that to?
The app that your boss bought. Yeah.
Obviously.
Which, to be clear, I mean, that's kind of it's not like HR when it's a person is on your side as an employee.
Very true.
But at least it is, in fact, a real person.
Yeah. Yeah. God, man, work is dystopian in a lot of ways. But yeah, that isn't good. You know, like, if there's ways of getting money underneath the table, I'm sure, don't do it too illegally. Or don't do illegal things. But you know, I don't even.
If you're selling illegal things, certainly do not ask me if I want to buy any of them.
Depending on those illegal things,
right?
Well, some are.
Don't think about too much what it means.
As someone who works at a public health organization, the only illegal things I could buy are like fireworks.
Fireworks, yeah.
That's something kid friendly but illegal.
Yes. Yes.
Maybe a sex toy in Texas.
Yes.
Who knows?
Yes. Pirated movies.
Oh yeah, you know what? I totally would download a car, and if I knew about torrenting, I totally would download a movie. That's some illegal shit I like.
Yeah. I'm not even. Yeah, I'm just like one of those guys. I you don't see them as much in Boston, but like in New York, you see guys like on the corner selling like, you know, pirated movies and stuff. Yeah,
loved them.
Yeah,
my uncle was all over them shits. He would bring them to our house and be like, "Have you seen the new Spider-Man? Nah, all right, let's put it in." I loved it.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so maybe that's the punch in the arm the economy needs. Bring back guys selling movies.
Selling illegal movies.
Right. They're making you pay like $40 to get these movies from streaming services right now.
Yeah, it's stupid.
You're still watching them in your home.
Yeah.
Bring back the guy on the street.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
I love it when we accidentally come across a great idea on this show.
Zach, you should be in charge of the economy. I feel like the economy would be pretty good. You'd pay people to stay at home and watch movies. You'd give them discounts on their movies. That's important. That's what we need. Right.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Yeah. Let's see what else is going on. So 2 new countries got added to we were talking about this earlier this week. The CDC's level 4 that are countries that you should not go, that they suggest you not travel to for COVID reasons. So Jamaica and Sri Lanka both got added. I'm just going to rattle off the ones that are on the list right now. So
Okay.
Brazil, the Bahamas, Costa Rica, France, Greece, Iceland, Ireland, Malaysia, Portugal, South Africa, Spain, Thailand, Turkey, United Kingdom. Any of those countries in particular that you'd like to give COVID to?
I don't want to give COVID to anyone.
Okay.
Well, no,
But don't go to them. Yeah.
I would not want to give COVID to people based on their nationality.
Okay.
I'd give COVID to a very prominent anti-vaxxer who has told people COVID's fake and probably has caused lots of deaths themselves. And but also I don't want COVID. How would I be giving them COVID? Would I have it in a little jar?
Yes.
Okay, and I just toss it at them.
Exactly how COVID works.
Just throw a jar at them.
People keep carrying around jars full of COVID and dropping them. Yeah.
But
I would give it to Spain. Just because I don't think we do. Spain was fascist for 35 years, and they got off the hook really easy for that, in my opinion.
I like how I tried to give the nice answer of I want to support internationalism. I won't judge people based on their country of origin, and you're like Spain.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying. Have we ever truly reckoned with how long Spain was a fascist country? Do we?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't pay attention to Spain because I don't like the way they speak Spanish. I don't like the lisp. I mean, saying I don't pay attention to Spain is mean. I've been to Spain. It does seem nice.
Yes.
But there's
I like the siesta. That's a pretty good idea.
Yeah, but Spain isn't the only place with a siesta, right? There's other places where you could take a little nap in the middle of the day.
Yeah, but I think
That's
parts of Spain businesses are expected to close for it.
Yeah, I mean that's true. I feel like that might be true in Italy though.
Maybe.
Well, anyway, I think that's cat culture. Spain appropriated that from cats. So
yes.
Yeah. So
I think that's fair. Everything is all the headlines are really stupid today. One of my favorite here's I don't know what this is about, but this is an opinion article on CNN.com. Is there's good and bad news about COVID-19? I don't know if there is.
Yeah, well, what do they say is the good news?
I don't feel like reading to find out, but I refuse to believe that it's particularly good news. Yeah. Because the other thing that's happening is that a lot of people, some of which have children, have a lot of opinions about whether or not kids should have to wear masks in school.
Yeah, it's weird. I know we've discussed how weird it is on the show that's become politicized, even though there's a very clear line of the Republicans taking over. I mean, not just Republicans. I would say a lot of most political discourse revolving around personal freedom, which is kind of a stupid way to frame public health emergencies. I know that's where it comes from, but it still amazes me that people think putting a mask on their kid's face is Nazism. I just don't get it. I don't get it. It's a piece of cloth. Your kid's ugly anyway. Just cover half their face. Come on. It's not hard. They'll stay alive and have a chance to not be ugly if you cover half their face. Come on.
It's true. But also, hot people should keep their faces covered. As
yes, that's
because
why
if hot people die, what are any of us living for?
That's why I always wear a mask because I'm just too hot to die.
Right.
If I died, the hotness of the world would go down so much.
Yeah. It wouldn't bounce back.
It wouldn't bounce back. Yeah. I gotta wear a mask. I'm gonna wear a mask until 2026.
I really hope we're not wearing masks that long.
This is a joke. I know I am ugly. I hope COVID ends.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Actually, no, there's some Italian dude who I met twice in Connecticut who No offense to Italian. Sorry, I identified him as Italian. That has nothing to do with his like cult or like whatever his life. I met him twice when I was doing comedy in Connecticut. He is a huge right winger, and he made fun of my face because I made fun of some of his Facebook statuses where he said like saying Henri is woke millennial bullshit. He said calling Hurricane Henri is woke millennial bullshit as opposed to just French. Like it would be, you could still make fun of saying Henri, but just say it's French. The French aren't woke. The French language has been around like 700 years, you know? So he said I was ugly. But I have a dick that works. So like, who's a loser?
Damn. From downtown, they sink it.
He's not gonna watch this. He doesn't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
This is just me complaining. It's like, I don't know. It's weird. It's weird when like random dudes online, like you'll make a lot of points and random dudes online will be like, yeah, well, you're ugly. And I'm like, that doesn't make anything I said wrong. Mm-hmm. That just means I'm still getting laid more than you, even though I'm at a disadvantage. That's all that means. I'm still right. You know? Anyway.
Weirdly, random dudes don't get mad at me and my takes. Why? Who can say for sure?
Isn't there like a Ray Primus who like makes fun of you sometimes?
Oh no, I'm not friends with him.
I mean, I'm not either, but I see his commentary.
Yes. No. I do believe, and obviously he does not watch the show, but I believe he's afraid of me personally.
Oh really?
Not really, but.
Oh, I mean, he might be. I don't know.
He goes out of his way to avoid replying to me.
You're just too powerful.
Yep, that's probably it. It's my power. Hey, here's something fun that I thought we could do real quick before we wrap up. I saw this this list. One of these weird conservative weirdos on Twitter. Bridget Gabriel, ACT Bridget, had this tweet. It was a 2-part tweet, actually. It's conservative Hollywood is better than liberal Hollywood, and then names a bunch of examples of who is better than the libs. Just rapid fire. How many conservative Hollywood people do you think you can name that are on this list?
Scott Baio.
Yep.
Chuck Norris. Chris Pratt.
Yep.
Who else is conservative in Hollywood? Dean Cain.
Dean Cain's on here, yeah.
I knew it. Shit, who else? Notice how it's mostly men. Would Meghan McCain count?
I think you're not Hollywood unless like anybody actually wants to see you on.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it is funny because somebody who did make it onto this list is Elizabeth Hasselbeck, who was the conservative voice on The View like years before Meghan McCain.
Really?
Who, like,
I don't even know who she is.
Why? I don't know why she's on the list either.
Okay.
There's some real classics on here. Jon Voight, Tim Allen. James and James. I mean, at least James Woods is actually a good actor. Like even though he's I
didn't realize he was conservative. I know that he was Hades in Hercules.
Yes.
The sexual assault. That's all I know about it.
Yes, and well, actually, you know what? We'll just use that as a reason to go to, because the crazy thing of that may have turned James Woods into like a crazy person is that. Allegedly, he saw the 9/11 terrorists do it on their trial run, like timing how quickly they could walk through like the hallways of a plane, and allegedly reported seeing this, and nothing was done about it, and that was what put him off the edge. And like people who fact checked it, like have said it is plausible that this actually did happen. That because we do know that they did do some sort of practice flight to just, see if the timing worked.
Yeah.
And so that was part of James Woods' descent into complete conservative hysteria.
That's weird.
Yes.
I mean, also because like the U.S. it seems like we kind of knew an attack was coming. Like,
yeah,
or,
I mean,
don't know.
also like it's like if a like a well-respected but B-list celebrity tried to like report that a terrorist attack was going to happen to me, I would also be like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do. And like, I mean, now I post 9/11, I'd probably be like, this white man is being racist towards some like visibly Muslim people who were late for a plane.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like the U.S. probably knew who all of those dudes were. By the U.S., I mean like, you know, the Pentagon and shit. Probably knew who those dudes were. We probably gave arms to some of them. Like I don't think they popped out of thin air.
Well, yeah, that does bring up what we decided we were going to close this week's show on. We do have coming up this week is the 20th anniversary of 9/11.
She almost could drink.
Yeah, I looked it up, and the 20th anniversary gift is supposed to be like the classic example is platinum. It's the platinum anniversary.
Okay.
So let's hope that jet fuel can't melt platinum beams.
I was like, there's gonna be a beam reference.
So just and please get them going in the comments too. Let's just name some things that you remember post 9/11 that are just truly like freedom fries is like the most classic example of like everybody's mind was broken around this.
And
time.
I knew freedom fries were fucking stupid as an 11-year-old. Like I was like, this is dumb as hell. I remember that. I remember terrorists became an insult in like as a, you know how kids would be like, oh, you're gay. There were some kids who were like, oh, you're a terrorist. We also both grew up in the tri-state, so I think like we probably like my dad used to work in the city and stuff, so like there was actual fear. Like it wasn't quite like, you know, someone in California that was like, oh, these Arabs, like they're attacking our country, when like they weren't immediately affected. But like my dad was like, I'm not going to go into work today.
Right. It is funny to see how that's happened over time. Is that like New Yorkers are like don't get. It's like people from like other parts, like people from Texas are just like those damn communists in New York are paying people to do crimes, and they're intentionally killing the police, and they're you know that God's gonna wipe New York off the map. And then they go to New York and like go to the like Ground Zero like museum, and they're just like, oh my God, like, oh, how could they do this in such a beautiful city? Like,
yeah, it's interesting. I remember when Bloomberg was like spying on Muslims. That was like 10 years afterward, though. Yes. What do you remember, Zach? I also
as I relate everything in my brain is filtered through professional wrestling. Watch QAW after us. Remember, I distinctly remember a group of heels, a bad guy faction following 9/11 called the Un-Americans, who flew an upside down American flag and just got tons of heat. And my favorite part about them is that they were a majority white Canadians, and and I think one British guy, and they did I believe they did the gimmick for about a year, and then they just decided like, I don't want to do this anymore. I think somebody might actually kill me for this.
That tracks, yeah.
But the Un-Americans, shout out Lance Storm and Christian and Test, R.I.P. Great gimmick, absolutely fantastic way to make the easiest marks in the world very upset.
I remember when people stopped playing certain songs because it would make references to planes, but then like people played a lot of weird country music, which like I wasn't that exposed to the country music because My parents were two urban Black people who were just like, we're just going to keep it to 70s soul and R&B. Fuck this. Mm-hmm. But there was like, I think Toby Keith was like, these colors don't run or something.
Yes. And one of my favorite weird thing, you can track it coming up to 9/11, climbing up the charts every week was Afro Man's Because I Got High, and suddenly disappeared from the charts following 9/11. And I don't know if that was manufactured or if America just as a whole was like, I'm not feeling this right now.
Like this isn't the vibe I'm going for.
No.
Yeah.
We should probably get out of here, right?
Yeah, we probably should. But yeah, share your like wildest, collective broken brain 9/11 memories in the comments. Obviously, it was a tragedy, and everything else that happened afterward was just kind of stupid. Not everything, but a lot of it. So put those in the comments. Thank you for watching this week, and stick around for Quarantine Action Wrestling. Hell yeah. All right.